Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020, and I'm Joe Reingold, and I'm interviewing Ruth Henkin for our One Story at a Time project, Viva, Shalom. Hello, Ruthie. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Tell us a little bit about your family, their origin, where your grandparents are from, where your parents were from, where they grew up, and then a little bit about your life when you were younger, where you grew up.
Okay, so my grandparents from my mom's side came from Syria, from Aleppo, and they came to Panama. On my dad's side of the family from Poland. So I really have both sides on me, the Sephardic and Ashkenazi, but I grew up completely being a Sephardic Jew in Panama. So my mom born in Panama, my dad born in Israel. They met in Israel, and then once they got married in Israel, my dad moved to Panama and took on the Sephardic tradition.
How did they meet in Israel? Do you know?
And now it was like a setup.
Oh.
When my mom got there, she had all these people to meet,
Yeah.
and my dad was not on the list, so she met him through a common friend, and that's how they met, and they got married there, and then he moved to Panama with her.
Okay. In what city? Where did they live?
Panama City. That's where most Jews live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your life when you were very young. What was it like there?
So we have a Jewish life. We went to Jewish school all the way from pre-K until high school. And, we have a very traditional Jewish life. We have Shabbat every Friday. Not so much Saturdays back then. I'm talking about over 25 years that I've moved from Panama here. But we have every Shabbat dinner. We celebrate every holiday. And always around family. We always have a Shabbat with grandparents, with cousins, and always together. We have our Sundays for lunch that we all get together. For Passover, we don't really eat out, nothing that is not kosher Pesach. And just very traditional Jewish life.
In what ways were your parents involved? Besides at home, in the traditions in the home, were they involved in anything in the Jewish community or in the secular community in Panama City?
So my grandmother especially was a person for the WISO. It's a very good organization in Panama where the women is very much involved. And my grandma was a person for many years. And my mom also, she volunteers in a lot of organizations. And every time there was like kind of bar mitzvah, she would volunteer, pick up the food, and take it to a hospital for people in need.
Beautiful, wonderful. And your dad?
My dad, just a working man.
What did he do for a living?
So he have a laundromat store, like laundromats in a lot of the poor areas in Panama. So that was his business.
Okay. And what kind of activities did you enjoy when you were growing up or even into your teen years?
So I really much enjoy being with my family. And, I was very close with my grandmother, still close with her, even though I'm not with her here. And she's going to be 92 this year coming up. And, in my time off, I will help her in the store. And then we take vacations. And pretty much vacation a lot with them, with my grandfather and my grandmother, and my parents, and my cousins. And also, growing up, I was in a group called Maccabi for young Jewish kids. Every Saturday, we get together. And that was also a part of my Jewish life that I enjoyed there.
Yes. So what did you see yourself doing after high school, and what did you end up doing?
So not a caterer. I didn't imagine seeing myself as a caterer. And I don't know, it's different there. And now pretty much the girls graduate and they go to college, and the young kids, after high school. Back then, it was not so much like that. It was pretty much, you get a job, you get married, and that's what you do here in Panama. And I didn't have dreams, really, of coming to the States. It just happened to be coincidence in my life. And Ceci, that is my business partner, and she's one of my best friends in Panama. I came to visit her here. And that's how I met my husband, Scott. And that's how I am here. It was not by any plans or nothing like that. It was
Didn't
just
plan it. How old were you when you moved here?
So I was just turned 24 when we got married. And we got married in Panama.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we lived in Florida for like 7 months. And then we moved here to Dallas.
And what did your husband do for a living?
He's in sales.
So he was already here?
He's already here,
Okay.
yes. But then, I don't really want to leave Panama, so I don't want to come all the way to Dallas. So he said that living in Florida probably be closer to Panama, so he transferred to Florida. So we got married, we lived there for 7 months, and it was not really our place. So we moved here to Dallas, and it's been amazing since then.
And you've been here how long?
And 25 years.
25 years. So tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, what was the reaction to your family when you decided you're going to move to Dallas?
And my mom happened to fall in love with God since she met him. And she knew that even it would be sad to be away from me, she knew it would be amazing for me because, I don't know, she just happened to have the feeling that I was marrying somebody amazing. So they got sad, but in the same way, she knows how happy I am, so they're happy for that.
Okay. Were there any other family members that had left Panama also?
I have 3 other cousins that live in New York, and that's about it.
So they moved to
Yeah.
New York, okay.
Eventually, my parents ended getting divorced, and my dad lives in Florida now. But everybody else is in Panama.
Wow. So how often do you get to see everybody, your family that's there?
At least now once a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they come here?
My mom comes here, my dad comes here. I have a brother and a sister, and they don't come here not as often because they know that I go to Panama.
Okay. What were your honest impressions of the United States when you first came, and Dallas in particular?
So, I don't know, first I was just taking it all in little by little, not having so much expectations, just to see how the flow of my life will be. And when I married Scott, he was Reformed, not Orthodox or traditional like me. So I think it's good because we both embrace Judaism in our life. And when we try different shoes, different things until we find our place. And now we both live in a modern Orthodox life. You know, we both share Shabbat, and we raise our kids in the Jewish school all the way. The 3 of our daughters are all admitted to Jewish schools. And we're proud of that. We made amazing friends. Like, you know, some comes, some goes, but I can say at this point, and I'm super happy. I couldn't be in a better place than Dallas. I just love it.
That's great.
I really do.
What activities and interests and job opportunities did you have when you first came here? And what are you still involved in?
I was just stay-home mom. I work, you know, retail here and there, but I was pretty much involved with my daughter's schools. Mm-hmm. So when they were in preschool, then I volunteer for events, and I was in the kitchen. That happened to be my I don't know, something that I kind of knew what to do with it. And then eventually it became my business, you know, the catering. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, I was always involved with my kids' preschools, schools.
So tell me how you really got started in full-time in the catering business.
So I'm gonna be honest, when I got married, I didn't know how to do nothing. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to even boil an egg. And my husband would cook for me. And it was great until I really missed my tradition food, my Sephardic food. I want to have Shabbat dinner with my customs, with my food. So the only way to do it was getting in the kitchen and doing it myself. So I did. I got in the kitchen, I started doing the food, and it happened to be good. And one holiday, I think it was Rosh Hashanah, and me and Ceci's now my business partner, we cooked together, and then her sister is Marcy Rhodes. She loved it, and she asked us to cater an event for the architecture fair. And we say she was crazy, we don't know what we're doing, but she said you can do it, and we did, and everybody loved it. And that was the first time we tried an event, and everybody liked it. So we started doing it for fun here and there, and I have my first child, says he moved to Los Angeles, and then we stop it, and then a friend of ours asked us again, and we do it again. So it was just more for fun until we started really being serious. And I think it's been over 23 years that we've been doing catering.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's how we started.
Wonderful.
Just trying myself
Mm-hmm.
and the opportunity that Marcy gave us.
Yeah,
And here we are.
that's great. What adjustments did you have with life in Dallas versus how your life was back home? How is it different from the life you used to lead?
It's very different because I don't have my family here. You miss them, but you make the best.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 daughters. They become my life. I have my husband family here.
Oh.
It's not very big, but I do have my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, Lane, and my father-in-law's wife. I do have a brother-in-law here. But mostly my friends, I have amazing friends, and they are my family. And because of them, we're here and having a happy life full of friends. I mean, the Shabbat table in my house is always full, and it's my friends that fill them up, and that's amazing.
What are your daughters all doing these days?
So
What are they involved in?
Yeah, so I have 3 daughters, and Raquel is the oldest. She is 22, and she is in college at UT Austin. I have Stephanie, she's 18. She's a senior at Yavna, and she will be taking a gap year after that. And my baby is Hannah. She's 13, and well, she will be 13, coming up next month, and she is in 7th grade in the Kiva Academy.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
What kind of things have you been involved in besides your business in the Jewish community and even if anything in the secular community?
So we got very involved with Dada of Plano. We helped them, and we built that community. We were really, really much involved. We still are, but we don't live in the area anymore. But we try to get involved in anything that we can, but especially with our schools.
Okay. Anything in the community at large in particular?
No, but if anything that we need to volunteer or make phone calls, I know my husband make a lot of phone calls, and every time here and there we can donate, we will. And we're giving a lot of, tzedakah, and also the business have helped. And in many circumstances, when the hurricane happened in Houston, it fed thousands of Jews. And so I guess I get more involved in my business to try to help the community if we can.
That's wonderful. What traditions do you feel you're not following anymore that you used to do back home? Can you think of anything? Or that you missed and you're not doing it anymore?
No, I think I'm very good to bring my traditions into my life, into my home, into my daughter's life. Actually, I think I'm doing more here than I used to do in Panama. Because, even I have it all, my family and everything, I had the opportunity to build something with my husband and to, give a different life to my daughters. We took on the religion slowly, we embraced it in our everyday life, and even I miss everything in Panama. I love everything that I have here because it comes from scratch. It comes something that we built together from the very, very bottom, and we are in a position now that we couldn't be more proud of it.
Very good. Wonderful. I know you've already touched on this a little bit, but can you think of one thing that you are the most proud of at this point?
My daughters,
Yes? Why?
I love them. It's everything. They're everything.
You raised them right. Yeah.
I hope so.
How does Israel play a part in your lives, if it does?
We love Israel. We love visiting Israel. And, we really are proud of our oldest daughter when she took the gap year and lived in Israel for a year. Couldn't be more proud. We couldn't be more proud of our middle daughter having that opportunity coming up.
What is she with a particular program?
She's with John Judea.
Yes?
Yes.
So she's taking your course there?
Yes, she's taking a year course.
Wonderful.
That's what Raquel did. Now Stephanie's following the same footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Hannah will be too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, okay. What traditions do you see your children, your daughters, carrying on from what they were taught from you?
I hope they keep living the Jewish life that we enforce them. I hope they bring that into their kids. I really hope so. You know, I don't have the expectation they have to be just like us, because now we share Shabbat, you know, but, you know, just have those traditions. Just celebrate Shabbat every Friday, you know, and have the kids hopefully in Jewish schools. I don't know, we really hope that we hope they can follow our footsteps. And yeah, I hope so. I still would love them regardless of what decision they take, but I really, really hope they do.
Can you think of anybody that was truly a role model for you at all, that was influential in some of the decisions you've made?
My mother.
Yeah?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what way? How was she?
Every way.
Every
She's
way.
just loving and she's trustful. She gives everything for her kids. She's there for us. She's a wonderful person, and I miss her a lot.
Last thing about Dallas. You've been here a long time. What changes have you seen in the city itself from when you came here till now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see how this community is growing, how many different schools we have, and how many restaurants are opening, how there's, you know, even a caterer, there is opportunity for all of us, different caterers, to succeed in this community and to give something good. And I just, it's an awe just to see how amazing this community has been growing. Yes.
If you ever had the opportunity to, you and your family or you and your husband, to move back to Panama, would you take it?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I love it here. I do. I love it there, to visit, to see my family. But this is my family here now. You know, I've been here for 25 years, over 25 years, and this is home for me. I go back home, Panama, but I'm ready to come back to home, Dallas.
Yes.
So I love it here. I do.
We're happy to have you. Thank you, Ruthie,
Thanks.
very much.